And good afternoon. Welcome to the Save with Crypto channel on YouTube. My name's Save with Crypto. I'm here with Maff today. Hello, Maff. How you doing?
Hello. Hi. Not bad. Thanks. Yeah. I was just saying to just before we started that I might be a little bit distracted in today's live stream. If I keep looking over there, it's not like a Twitch or anything like that. It's just monitoring a work thing. So if I suddenly have to just jump out and exit without warning or whatever, then I'm not merely being rude. There's there's a reason attached to it as well. So should be fine though.
Just kind of generally being rude, sort of. You're not going to jump out the window, are you, or anything like that? Or
no, that would be rude to my legs, I guess.
Okay, excellent. Right, I've actually just managed during the intro. I actually managed to set up the thingy, the Instagram stream. So there you go. So I think we're actually live now on YouTube, your X channel, and
Brilliant.
And Instagram. Excellent. So hello everyone. Who we got here? We got Nick. He was there first. Excellent. Well done. That's good. 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 You're keeping that up. Scotty wants to make it stop. Make what stop?
Was that the intro music by any chance?
I don't know. I don't mind a little bit of go and trance, sort of. But
yeah, why not?
Hello, says WJM. Hello yourself. Crypto J123. Good afternoon. Good afternoon indeed. Right, just before I let you loose.
Yeah, unleashed.
Well,
unleashed means running around the park, like going bow wow wow, chasing a bull, I think.
Okay, right, okay.
Well, exactly, whatever floats your boat,
Right. Right, I don't know what to say about that. Okay. Anyway, so I did start making a video this morning, and I haven't finished it. So it was going to be one of those videos where I say, and find out more in the live stream at midday. And of course, I haven't finished it, so it will be find out more in the live stream tomorrow or something, And
okay.
Anyway,
yeah, actually, yeah, that'd be better. I was thinking and found out more. But yeah, bigging up tomorrow's live stream would be the better.
That would just confuse people. That would, You know, I think we've got a very intelligent audience here, but I think they are a bit easily confused. You know. Anyway, sorry, that sounded terrible, didn't it? No, I love you all.
Yeah,
Right.
I think if this wasn't live, I'll be saying like, should we edit that bit out?
Yeah, okay, right. Pretend that bit never happened, right? Anyway, so last night, I don't know if you know, I don't know if anyone noticed actually, but I did actually go live for about half an hour, and then I started yawning a lot, so I thought I'll stop that. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to see the CME open, which for me was like 11 p.m. That's GMT or UTC or whatever. And so, you know, because I knew it was going to open down here at like 88,500 or so, because that's where the price was. So basically, we closed on Friday at 90,330 on the CME. So that left this big CME gap, and for this reason alone, no, not quite alone, but for that reason, I was thinking, well, everyone's talking about it dumping to 74k or whatever, and to be honest, you're probably going to tell me it's going to dump to 74k in a minute, but I'll just say this bit first. But I did say, I think this might get filled in sort of early in the week, and sure enough, overnight it started to. It's not finished yet, but it is going that way. There's a few other things that made me think it would go up as well. One of them was on this chart here. This is the BTC USDT. It's the Bybit chart. And a little while ago, I'd marked in these monthly levels, and I'd kind of forgotten what they were, so I've just labeled them. So basically, this one here is the April 2025 low, where it was at 74.5k. This one was March to April. This was like a pivot where it changed, it basically bottomed out a little bit. So that was at 82,504. And then the January low from this year, that was there at 89. Sorry, just realised you can't see what I'm pointing at. Bloody hell, I've done it again, haven't I?
I don't know. I mean, it looks quite. Was it the one with the sort of rising wedge, the triangle?
Yeah. Oh, that's weird.
That's it. Yeah.
Well, you could see these purple things.
Those particular ones, yeah.
Oh, okay. That's weird. That's weird because my StreamYard thing, at the top it says like share this tab instead. It said that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe I need to restart my browser. Anyway, okay. So I don't need to repeat that. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Anyway, so basically, I had this monthly kind of like, what do you call them, like pivot points or whatever? I don't know, just areas of interest, if you like. I had those marked on the chart, and I thought it was quite cool that on what was that, Friday? Was that Friday? Was that? Oh, that's Friday. So that's Friday morning. Did we have a dump on Friday morning? I suppose we did. Oh no.
Well, it seems like every day at the moment, isn't it? So
every day's a dump day. No, I think that was like midnight, wasn't it? Oh, no, it wasn't. Oh, whatever. Anyway, but yeah. So Friday we had a dump. Anyway, we actually came down to that level there, and then staying within this rising wedge that I drew anyway. And I'm not sure how good these things are, but I did notice that we've come up to this monthly level here from this January low. So although this is a bearish pattern, I'm actually wondering if we might do a little bit of that before we drop out of that completely, and then go and claim that one down there. That's about as far as my kind of my thoughts go really with this. But anyway, that is that. I did.
It's kind of a continuation pattern, isn't it? When you get a rising wedge like that or a falling wedge, so it's like, yeah, it's what was happening is basically going to carry on. We're just pausing for it. So yeah, it tends to be more.
So if it comes down like that, it does that for a bit and then carries on. So
yeah. It's not like 100%, obviously, but it's just that tends to be that's the recognized pattern, I suppose.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, also it's worth bearing in mind that it's only a probability anyway. So It's something like 68% of the time they drop out at the bottom, so something like that, I think.
Yeah.
So it could go the other way.
Trouble is, we've got the Bank of Japan thing for me coming
right
up.
Now. I'm really pleased.
No,
I'm really pleased that you made the thumbnail and did the setup for the stream today, because I did it wrong the other day. When I did that interview with that Roman guy, Roman guy,
that Roman guy,
with that Roman, yeah. And what I did with him was he said, "Can you give me any questions that you want to ask me, in advance, so I can prepare for them?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I had like about 10 questions that I wanted to ask. Then I had some questions from the community as well, so I kind of mixed them in as well. And then I said to him, I said, "By the way, if there's any questions that you want me to," that I should have phrased this better, but I said, "If there's any questions that you want me to ask you, then let me know." So obviously, if there's something you wanted to say, it'd be really good if you had a question to sort of prompt it. So that was the idea. I think he misinterpreted that as being, are there any questions that he wants to ask me? And one of them is, what do you think about the Japan carry trade thing? And I was like, "Ooh,
I don't know."
I was like, "Oh, I'm glad we're not doing this live, because I haven't a bloody clue." Actually, I am completely. I don't even know what a carry trade is. So I think, bearing that in mind, should we do the thing?
Let's do it.
Okay, let me just find the thing, and then we'll do it. There we go. I could definitely hear a snigger at the end of that.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things. Okay,
let me just share the screen. Actually, so I'm slightly all at both 6s and 7s at the moment, but just where did I do the right thing? I think so.
That's that bloody meme thing, isn't it? 6, 7,
I don't know though.
Oh God, it's like, well, it's, yeah. You haven't got teenage children anymore, have you?
Well, no. Well, yeah, maybe.
Well, maybe you have. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, there's a whole run of things that were going through my mind to say then, but then I thought, well, if she ever actually watches this back at some point and says, like, "You said what about me?" Just so. So I shall refrain from responding, I think, for my own safety, really.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Okay. Anyway.
Anyway, so I actually don't know what it's all about. I know it's probably bad news, but do tell me.
Yeah, sure. Just and also just because you sort of mentioned about carry trades. So I remember I was kind of reading about them, but I don't think I really kind of picked up exactly. So I know like what the potential ramifications of this are, but like what the hell is a carry trade? So it's an investment strategy where an investor borrows capital. Oh God, that's a long explanation. What is it? Maybe it's about 10 paragraphs, but maybe this is the short answer. So let's go back a bit. Sorry, 1 second. Oh yeah, it's the return or cost of holding an asset. carry trade. So I mean, it sounds like a derivative, isn't it? 'Cause it's so an investment strategy where an investor borrows capital in a low interest rate currency, i.e. the funding currency, and invests it in higher yielding assets denominated in some other currency. So in this case, it's going to be the USD, isn't it? So I guess in Japan they were borrowing the yen, I guess, and then investing it in the US dollar. That sounds like what's probably happening there. And from that, they were basically kind of getting free money, weren't they? Because they were the yield they were getting back from the USD was obviously a lot higher than what they had from the yen that they were borrowing. So it sounds like that's essentially just carried the Japanese economy for all these years. I'm trying to get to an image which just came out there, and it was really enticingly a good image. I just want to see if I can just get me the image. Sorry.
I'm still looking at your chart. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah, because I'm just grappling with this thing.
So
here we go. So currency carry trade. So yeah, borrowing in a low yielding currency, investing in a high yielding currency, and collecting the interest rate difference. So
right.
What he said really. So essentially what's happened though, because obviously we've got I think it's December the 18th and the 19th coming up on the calendars apparently. What new calendar? Sorry, I'm auto queuing from this thing that's just got it's phrased things a bit weirdly. So the Bank of Japan is meeting on December the 18th and 19th, and looking at obviously potentially an interest rate hike. So apparently it's about a 80 to 90% chance, I think, of the hike. And the hike itself might be potentially actually 0.5% up to 0.75%. So that's kind of huge. And historically, each time that the Japan has done this, the Bank of Japan has done this. So there was July 2024 and January 25. But both times the Bank of Japan hiked the rate, Bitcoin did see corrections of like between 20 and 30%. So kind of yikes. So they've totally been seeing the carry trade as this kind of free money machine, but it's so essentially the yen carry trade. But the problem is that sorry. So yeah, okay. So basically, for years, traders have been borrowing the Japanese yen at near zero interest rates, which is kind of nice because I suppose that that's essentially what's allowed it. So they've had a almost zero interest rate in Japan, so hence they could borrow and borrow and borrow on the Japanese yen, and essentially then invest that in the US dollar into US dollar based things, I suppose. So in particular, so high yield assets like Bitcoin and tech stocks. So amazing, really, isn't it? They can just then sort of, if they want to, just pay back the original amount that they borrowed, and still be like way ahead on that. But if the Bank of Japan does raise interest rates, then all of that is just going to suddenly stop, of course, because suddenly, like, what's the point? So that said, if they talk about raising it by between 0.5% and 0.75%, and it's currently near zero, so at worst it might, let's say it ends up at 1%. The US interest rate is still significant. Isn't that around about 4% or thereabouts, if I remember?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So there's still quite a difference. They still got kind of that spread. between the two interest rates. So they can still make money. It's just not going to be as much, I think. So, but possibly things are a bit hyperbolic about just like, oh, all of this free money train is just going to suddenly stop. It's not quite as bad as that, I think. So, but obviously it's going to be like highly impacted, so that there's going to be a lot less of it. So that's certainly going to have an effect. So we could well see that sort of 20 to 30% drop. But we'll know on is it Friday? When December the 18th and 19th? When?
Oh, that's quite soon.
Yes, it is this week, isn't it?
Thursday, Friday, yeah.
Yeah, crikey. So yeah, we'll basically know at the end of this week when just the extent of that. Question, of course, is if it's already been priced in, because it's been expected.
Right.
And it's obviously like smart money would have kind of known for quite a while that it's that was not just on the cards. It was kind of going to happen, because like what else are they going to do with the problems they've been having there? So yeah, that's that really. So whatever in terms of the TA for this, I still got all the scribbles I put in from last time. So look at this. Maybe if we go to the one, to the daily. Shall I get rid of all my old scribbles? That's quite similar to what you drew in, isn't it? With the
ish,
yeah. So I was kind of looking at that as a rising wedge, and potentially Bitcoin could break out at the top of it and head on up, but instead it broke out beneath it, which ain't that great, because it suggests now, looking at that that's going to become resistance, isn't it? So that's if that's even still in play now. It's just done its thing. We've had the price compression, and it kind of squeezed out that way instead of up that way. So it's coming back up though. It's maybe not too bad. This might hit that rebound. It might do something like that.
So why did mine not look like that? I mean, I know
because I drew it differently. Because I drew it in terms of a kind of a thing, just price compression type thing. So like I horizontal top based on these kind of that liquidity there and these tops.
Yeah, also
and it's on the daily.
Yeah, I gotta say you're on a much bigger time frame, aren't you?
Yeah. If I go to this one, it lets me. So yeah, I'm absolutely loving these Bollinger Bands, by the way. They absolutely complement Quadzilla, or the other way around, whatever. They work very well together.
So how are you using them exactly?
So, I suppose to answer that, if I go to this is what teamwork in the Discord put us onto, which is Pippin. Obviously others as well, but Pippin, just for the time being, I've been kind of looking at that quite a bit. So to show you that, to answer your question, if I go down to this sort of time range, it's really kind of a scalping thing. You could probably have the same sort of benefits on longer term trades as well, but essentially down here. So so the way that the Bollinger Bands work, or what they display, is that you've got this kind of moving average in the middle. I've also got the 9 EMA switched on there as well. But so the darker blue is the moving average, is part of Bollinger Bands, and then the top and the bottom are the just standard deviations. So you get essentially the sort of standard kind of accepted way of using these is that as long as the price isn't in a strong upward or downward trend, like if it's just kind of ranging but in a nice big range, then if the price kind of touches the top band, then you'd expect to go short. If it touches the bottom band, like here, boink, then you'd expect to go long. So as you can see, though, you've got, so you kind of got that, like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. However, if you're using it in tandem with Quadzilla, then that it does kind of give you a bit of an extra edge on there as well. So like this bearish retracement level, for example, so the price, so it went down, so you're going to expect it to come up, and sure enough, it kind of comes up. Here it's like kind of, oh no, we've gone up, just do that a bit, we've gone, I know we've gone up above the top level of the Bollinger Band. So do we reverse now, or say if it's at that kind of level, just touch the band, but we might actually wait a bit because we're expecting the price to at least come up and hit this level, and then sure enough it does kind of touch that level and comes back down. So it's that sort of thing. So and another aspect is so actually, yes, similar sort of thing there. Just, I mean, the price just came down, just kind of nudged that the bullish retracement level there and kind of headed back up. Yeah, so with the Bollinger Bands, you get this kind of like upper area and lower area. So if it's in the sort of moving average upper area, then that's kind of, obviously it's bullish, but in the sense that you wouldn't actually necessarily want to enter along while it's in that area. It's probably not the best example here because, well, in fact, to be honest, yeah, in terms of just the probability, that probably is a fairly good example. You'd effectively just kind of want to enter a long position down here, like ideally there or there when it's kind of down near the lower band. So, or ideally here, like where, as I say, where that touched the retracement level, that's a good place to enter along because you kind of know that it's kind of actually dropped below there. The price had been kind of doing that, so you're expecting a bit of a kind of bit of a retrace, which it does, and then impulse move kind of back up again. So yeah, that lower half is useful for that. But you could also tie it in with this newer feature, the parallel channels as part of Quadzilla, where that's more of a kind of straight horizontal line, kind of a upper and lower half, rather than the sort of dynamic waving around moving average type of one. So kind of using them together in that case, you can kind of view anything within that sort of area as being the sort of discount price, really. Sort of like if we're considering going short down here, that's going to be a bad idea. If we're considering going long, then that's probably going to be a good idea. Obviously, take other things into account, but it would be another thing to confirm or not the that choice. So, and then you can kind of use that in tandem with this as well. So anything below that, ideally, so the closest to the lower end of the Bollinger Band, the better. Then again, kind of good confirmation. So you got like double confirmation achieved in completely different ways about just whether that's it's going to be a good probability of a long playing out there. So do you see what I mean? It's just like they confirm each other, or they contraindicate, I suppose, like deny. What's the opposite of confirm in this sort of thing? Don't know. Anyway, so yeah, there's that, and then similarly, let's just say if the price was kind of there, and you, let's just say if we're there, the price is there, and you're kind of thinking like, okay, great, this has just touched the top of the Bollinger Band there. Yeah, to be honest, that'll probably be okay as well, because even though it ends up going off doing that, it's kind of, oops, let's do that. It's also kind of up here in this area, like kind of the premium price area of that parallel channel. So, however, it's not like, you know, all the way up here. That would be kind of a good place for a short just there. So whereas here is a bit kind of like, you know, going to be a bit risky. It's you know, still looking like the price is probably going to be heading on up there, and then you can use the usual sort of Quadzilla type things, like, well, the price is up here, it's getting towards overbought, but it's not actually in there yet. Do you know what I mean? So that might be a slightly risky place to go short, even though it's touched the top of the Bollinger Band. So kind of want to wait for it to be just higher up within that parallel channel, and then like here, that'd be a better sort of short to set, because in fact it's also touched the top of that bearish retracement level and boom, down. So if you're scalping, that's probably going to be a fairly decent-ish sort of short to take there. Not ideal though. It's just, I think, because there's so much else going on there that would suggest that's not going to be the best trade. Particularly that there's a strong upward trend. So who in their right minds is going to go short in the middle of a strong upward trend like that? There's that side of it too.
Yeah.
So cool. It's more like when you get up to here, that's a very sort of clear and present reversal going on just there. So when you see that sort of thing, there's obviously massive downward pressure, and well, hey, you know, Quadzilla is also kind of showing this happening. It's got two super downs, two red backgrounds. That one, I mean, admittedly that one is down there, but it's signaling that bit. But you can kind of see that the price is way up and overbought. It's the convergence band is very much narrowed down. It's curving round, and so yeah, you can get a really clear picture that. So as soon as this candle finished, this one started, then you'd be able to see, okay, like, yeah, okay, let's actually go short now. We've got confirmation down here. We've got confirmation up here because it's breached the top of the Bollinger Band, that top, the top of the top level, whatever. And you know, let's go decent short, and so on. You know, just kind of walk my way through all of that. Really, you just get these confirmation. So probably slightly longer answer than you'd expected or I'd intended. It's
that's all right.
Yeah, so that's how.
Okay. So have you got the Bollinger Band set on the default settings, or have you fiddled with it?
There, I can't remember if I messed about with them or not. Have a look.
If you show me, then I can compare it.
Yeah,
with,
pretty much. I think, yeah. So length 20. I think that is these look like the default settings. I think.
So 20 SMA close 20. Okay. Yeah. That's the default. All right.
Yeah, I think Teamwork may well be able to tell us something other. Like he might have some other settings, because I think he is, from what we see of his trades that he talks about in the Discord. He's an absolute demon when it comes to this sort of trading, this sort of scalping particularly.
Yeah,
he might be able to talk about some of his how he's got this configured and so on. But yeah, so yeah, so with Quadzilla, so I think we're probably nearing towards a stage where we could look at releasing 1.7 pretty soon. I think that there's probably enough in it now that that you know, might not be such a terrible thing to do. So
okay. So I was going to ask you about that. So right, because I see you've renamed it now to 1.7 preview. That's
exciting.
So that we need to get in there. So I know the other day when you were talking about that, you were saying you had a problem where we hadn't decided what to do, where the parallel channel bits sort of overlap.
Yeah.
What did you do there?
Nothing.
Okay. That's
Well,
a sound decision.
yeah, that's what I thought. If in doubt, just stand still with the rabbit in the headlights, kind of look and panic. So yeah, what I did do was I changed it. I changed the sort of life cycle, I suppose, of the parallel channel, so that when the if either, so it's always the bearish level at the top and the bullish level at the bottom.
Okay,
And the price is somewhere in between. So
let's just go back. Let's just go back a little bit for somebody who didn't see this the other day.
Yeah, sure.
So as I understand it, so you decided, well, basically what you discovered was that when you have a bullish retracement down below, when you have a bearish retracement above, the 50% line seemed to be quite relevant. That's correct.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Exactly that. So yeah, it's a good point actually.
So consequently, you decided to. Now, in what circumstance would it actually do the shading for the green and red?
Yeah. So we should probably recap it a little bit here. So actually, I suppose that's a good example, good as any other. So essentially, when it starts to do this, when it starts to shade these, it's because Quadzilla has kind of noticed that. Actually, bring that down. Try again. There. Quadzilla has noticed that there's a bullish retracement level down here in its step 2, and there's a bearish retracement level up above it somewhere in its step 2, and the price is kind of just somewhere between the two levels. And so at that point, then it just starts to draw in a parallel channel like this. So traditionally, the way that these parallel channels are often used is, to show you, I'll switch off Quadzilla just for a sec. You might look at and bond events. Yeah. You might look at something like this as well, okay, we've got this maybe from there. Yeah, do that. So we've got kind of a range going on here from that low up to that high. So we'd maybe draw in a parallel channel like so, and might be sort of along here. Say to that, I don't know, just, to there, and kind of up to there, to the top, like so. And what that then gives you is this just sort of 50% line, actually. So, and I don't know, when did I draw that in subtypes? Take that out, take that one out. There's, it's kind of, it just gives you this kind of like fairly high level view of the market. You'd also typically do this on a higher time frame, and then come back to drop down into lower time frame to get that, you know, bigger picture view of just where things are at that point. So here we've got the price kind of ranging along, trending along. So this lower area is kind of like the kind of cheap area. So like Bitcoin, Pippin here is at a discount price when it's down here. It's at a bit of a premium price when it's up here. So anywhere down here and to as close as possible to this line, really, that's going to count as a potentially good place to buy because it's cheap. It's at a discount price. You wouldn't really want to buy while the price is kind of up here above that halfway line, because there it's expensive. It's at a premium price, and so you kind of want to wait for the price to come back down to here. In this particular case, it only came down to there and then made its way back up again. But kind of really anywhere below this level and as far down as possible might be kind of a good place to fill your bags with cheap pippins. So cheap bag of apples, So in terms of working out then where, because that's just looking at that by itself, that seems like an entirely artificial place, except that it's come down to that level, isn't it? Slight digression, but just to try and make sense of it a little bit. So there was there, you might kind of look at that. It's one of those ones where it's a bit sort of, well, okay, in retrospect, yeah, I can see that would have come down to there and then bounced, because there would have been some liquidity just there, probably some maybe some buy orders that were waiting there, and but the price dropped, so they didn't kind of get. I don't know what would have happened there. There would have been sells, I guess. Oh, I don't know. I kind of get my backwards and my forwards is mixed up when I try and figure out what type of orders are left, like closing positions and so on. But so the point of that was that when the price is down here, buy; when the price is up here, sell. Sort of fair enough. If I put Quadzilla back on, so what I figured with this was that maybe the retracement levels also have some, because they have this weird sort of, as in uncanny thing where they seem to have kind of they've got their toes sunk deeply into the matrix of the price action. Is that really kind of whatever? So because of course the price does tend to sort of come back to a particular level, it interacts with it, and even after that retracement level is played out, that level continues to be relevant in some way. Okay. So it's seeing something that generally we may not necessarily be seeing by just looking at sort of pivot points and areas of liquidity and so on. There's this thing about the opposing forces, the buy-sell forces kind of balancing out and finding this sort of homeostasis, and it tends to be kind of at that sort of level, which I think is why the price just does seem to just come back to that level and it interact with it. Like even there went up, but then it kind of played with that level a bit more as it went along. So given that there's that going on, the opposing sort of buy and sell forces, then probably a halfway point between retracement levels, it is going to be similarly sort of just relevant. So like here, for example, so we've got that low and that high, then halfway between them, the price kind of pivots to that halfway point and remains kind of ranging along that, and even over here it carries on. Then in fact we get a retracement level that draws bang on that halfway point, and then because that's happened, then that also draws in its own parallel channel between the two, between that and that one that's already got that bigger parallel channel going on. Then this level again turns out to be quite kind of relevant as well. So same sort of thing. So that's kind of the thing. It just gives you that view into and a dynamically drawn view into whether the price is kind of cheap or expensive, really, at any particular point, just based on where the price magnet is going to, like which price magnet is going to win out, in effect. So if the price is kind of near the middle of this, then there's not really much of a view about whether the price is going to be pulled up to that one or down to that one. You kind of have to wait and see, really, because like that would not be a good place to open a position just along there until you kind of see exactly where the price wants to go. Then when it gets to the top or bottom of a range, then sure. Yeah, What else? So this one again. That's kind of, so there is that. Which one? Oh, another thing is that there's a setting that after the parallel channel is finished, it just carries on drawing it for some number of extra bars, just because it does tend to continue to be relevant for a bit. So it gives you more of a channel to plot with, really, and plan with. So that one's just a continuation of after that one finished, and it's step 2. But if you can switch that extension bit off or change the number of bars it does that for. So yeah, because like that level obviously again continues to be relevant anyway. Like the price kind of returned to that midway point, just pulled neither that way nor that way really. It's kind of oscillating, between the two until eventually one side wins out, then boom, up it goes. So and with that, there we'd kind of expect the price to come back down. In fact, it's coming down, kind of, and so on. So obviously, for this particular bit now, there are no bearish retracement levels above, so we don't get another midline, but we do get this, which in itself kind of suggests that unless this is now just a really strong upward trend that's going to go on and on until that, like you might expect that trend to break at some point and the price come back down to there at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how is this looking on BTC at the moment?
Good question. So I suppose we start. Should have a look on the 1 hour. I'm going to delete all my scribbles now. I think they're probably done with, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. If we also bring it slightly squished oscillator.
Okay, so there's not much going on at the moment.
No. Also, if I was going to say, if bringing the Bollinger Bands as well, I don't think they're really going to tell us all that much on the 1 hour. I don't know, potentially. I mean, it's one thing with these as well is that when they really narrow down like that, and you can kind of see it in the way that there's just a tight range, where the price is just doing its thing like that, just going sideways. So that very much suggests that there's going to be a kind of big expansive move one way or the other. And in this case, just the way that that's played out, it kind of suggests them more downward, because obviously the moving average was just kind of wanting to come down. I've only got the 9 EMA switched on within Quadzilla there as well, just for because that also helps with deciding whether it's going to be a good time to go long or not. Because generally, you wouldn't necessarily want to go long until you've got some confirmation that the price is at least kind of closed above the 9 EMA or just touched above it, maybe. When in this case, that's a lovely signal. Just the convergence band narrowed down, kind of heading up a bit. Green background, price totally bottomed out, and we got the that sharp sort of reversal wick as well, and then back up. So in amongst that, another retracement level actually. Sorry, I think you asked a question, didn't you? I don't know if I actually answered it. Or do you have a question?
No, my question was just, how's it looking with Bitcoin at the moment? But
okay, yeah, sure.
I think it's just still a bit sideways, isn't it?
It is really, yeah. Sort of wonder how much of the Japan interest rate is priced in, as I was saying before. So maybe there's just going to be a big bunch of indecision and sideways movement and until towards the end of this week, I think. So we get that feeling. In terms of does the price kind of plummet down to 74? just get the feeling at the moment it's like all bets are off at the moment, isn't it? I mean, there's very much that carrying that. Oh, look at that! See that halfway point again. Had a thing for that. So yeah, they do turn out to be pretty good. So just so when you get stacked retracement levels like that, then there's definitely some like almost like the push and the pull zone is kind of cancelled out, kind of around there, some area around the middle of that, the center zone, and boom, yeah, price took some down, touches our center zone and then heads back up. That's amazing. So yeah, and that's on the daily. So sorry, I think I interrupted myself there. I forgot what I was going to say. But in fact, yeah, that level where it bottomed out is 80k. I think that means we're getting, we're getting higher lows. They're not particularly high highs, so it's not that great, is it really? I suppose they are just about, but it's not especially convincing. So I think, Scotty's asking, guys, going to make some scripted tutorial vids on Quadzilla, explaining retracements, red-green background, retracement stats, etc. I think it really helped for sale. Yeah, I agree. I think we should. I know we keep talking about it as well, but so far we've maybe procrastinated a bit on that one. But
okay,
it's a good call. We ought to see that.
Right. I promise you we will start talking about it this week.
We'll start talking about formulating a plan of action and scheduling it in.
Yeah,
we'll have a meeting about a meeting.
Yeah, no, seriously though. And then
yeah.
And then it'll get discussed at the office party.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so that's that. What else we got to cover on here? I think I went to the daily just to try and get a bit of a bigger picture look at that in terms of just which way now. But there's like even on the 4 hour here, there's just like so much. It's just going sideways, isn't it, at the moment? There's step 3 of that bearish retracement level. It might well just come down and kind of boink below that, at least to there, sort of 84-ish. Does it? I don't know. I say it doesn't feel like a chart that wants to sort of break down to 74, 75 anytime soon, which is kind of there, isn't that level?
Well, there's a lot of talk about that sort of level. So I kind of, normally when everyone starts talking about lower levels, they never happen.
Yeah, it's the this is I think that was a 2-day super up that you were talking about, isn't it? Where that signaled that we did get a decent price move from that. But yeah, yeah, it's definitely that sense of like something must happen, therefore, because it always happens, so kind of like, well, it can't possibly be the end of the bull market yet, because we haven't had an alt season. We can't enter a bull market without an alt season. But then, well, why not? There's absolutely no rule that says we must have an alt season. It's just because it happened before,
I know. I've seen comments of people sort of saying, when is alt season? Like as if it's
inevitable.
Yeah, so it's a predetermined thing that happens every now and again.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
So a similar thing with the that downward. It's like, well, we're now in a bear market, therefore, kind of 74, 75k must be on the cards. I mean, yeah, sure, to complete that price structure, then I guess below that 68. But then it's just like, how far down do we go talking about that? Just do you come down to these levels just because those price? Well, maybe I shouldn't tempt fate for that. Do we see a complete reversal back down, just completing that structure? It would be kind of nice. Buy some cheap Bitcoin, wow. But yeah.
I mean, I keep meaning to sort of look up, what is the actual definition of a bear market and stuff, because I always thought it was something to do with, I don't know, I'd be guessing really, but I think you need something like a 50% pullback or something, don't you? On like I don't know, on whatever you're looking at,
Yeah. There's that side of it. I suppose it's like the official definition, because they do say that, like, technically we don't know for sure that we're in a bear market until afterwards. Then you can kind of measure the distances and say, yep, that was a bear market. But there's also the feels of it, isn't there? Just like feeling like the price is always just going to go down. Just like there's that side of it. Shorts are going to be the best play rather than longs, the better one. That sort of side of it, and the general sense of negativity around the market and so on.
Right. I just had a little Google of it, and and it said generally a bear market occurs when a broad market index falls by 20% or more over at least a 2-month period. So I suppose we're looking at something like what, S&P 500? Is that what you look at, or is that how it works?
Have I got that here? That's S&P 500.
So you want that 2 days. So you want that? I mean, that's not going to come down 20% and stay down for 2 months anytime soon, is it?
No. Should measure it out a bit. So from, I guess the top was there. Where is 20%? Oh, is it to there? Oh, that would have been amazing. But yeah, maybe slightly below it. So 20% would be there. Maybe down to that one pretty much. I mean, 18.3. Could well expect. I mean, I'd say could well expect, but it's a bit of an indication that might happen. When that drop was, okay, we're on 2 days. So that was back in the start of this year. That we had that. So it's on a bit of a tear at the moment, isn't it? Still. Do you feel like that's going to just reverse course at some point?
Yeah, maybe.
As in, like, fairly soon, I think. But,
maybe, but next year. Well, next year's only about 3 weeks away, isn't it?
yeah.
But it's 2 weeks, isn't it? God, it's incredible. There's really only 2 weeks left of this year. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, all the things I've got planned for this year. I better get started.
I know. What happened to my bucket list? Okay. Yeah. I mean, I do, but next year, I still think there's a bit of. I mean, I'm not scared of a bear market. I just don't think we're quite there yet.
No.
I think there's another bit of up to go. I think it's going to be like a violent up at some point. Kind of.
Well, you'd hope so. Yeah. I mean, because there's very much there's all this sort of bullish things on the horizon and things that are playing out already. I mean, in terms of the US market, really. Just and of course, I suppose US midterms next year, isn't it? So they're kind of going to want the US economy to at least look like it's in a good state, ready for that, and for people to generally feel feel wealthy. So, because if people go into the midterms just feeling kind of crushed and dejected and poor overall, then that's that wouldn't be too great. So so there's that side of it. And usually that does involve money printing, doesn't it? So I mean, also we've got the this thing about the Fed buying back like billions in treasury bills, T-bills, and which is officially like absolutely not QE, not happening, you know. But then I think we've kind of also got the actual QE kind of supposed to be starting pretty soon, but maybe just at a potentially much lower rate than we've seen in previous iterations of that. So, but yeah, I think Scotty's saying, totally agree. I think we're going to rip unexpectedly, generate insane FOMO, and ka-ching. Yeah, that'd be nice. Just I'd love to be able to time that extremely well. Just sell at the top. But we'll see, I guess. Nick, what alt season when only Bitcoin season so far? Yeah. So yeah, we kind of need not just risk on, we need kind of just risk fever, don't we, to get the alt season going. Yeah, just meme coins did a lot of damage to alt seasons, in my opinion. Yeah, that's probably true. That just people just got burned, didn't they, kind of early on, like sort of start of this year, and so yeah, that just, I think that did do a lot of damage to the overall just sentiment of alts and that side of things. Yeah, 74k self-fulfilling prophecy, probably true. I think. Yeah, we'll head down there because everyone's saying that we will. So better sell. So meeting about meetings, so you politicians, yeah. Worked in so many places where they do have meetings about meetings, or you only need to come up with an estimate for this bit of work. So when can you have that estimate ready by, and this, so better have a meeting to plan to plan when we can produce the estimate and so on. Yeah. So I'm probably going to need to wrap up fairly soon.
No worries. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember getting a fax about wasting paper.
Yeah, that's a sort of fax you'd probably want to like pin up somewhere. Just so, actually, super quickly, just because we talked about like Quadzilla 1.7, so quick kind of recap of the things, and I think maybe along with the 1.7 release, we could probably talk about then just having the kind of the 1.7 tutorial videos and things as well. So what is new in here? I think that probably won't be in there just yet. I'm still kind of working on the non-classic super signal behavior, so that checkbox kind of won't be there. But we would get. Oh yeah, I did do a bit of a tidy up actually within here. So it's just like things like in each group. So it consistently has kind of the thing that it's to do with at the top. And if I untick that, those grey out, which I didn't do before. So does that come through? Did I do this one? I can't remember. Yes, good. So yeah, those grey out as well. It keeps the super up down colour, so you can switch off the background colours, but keep the super ups effectively. And same with these, like those grey out, and so see the thing disappears. Retracement levels similar, they all grey out. Bit of a tidy up in some of the tooltips as well on that. What else was? Oh yeah, of course, retracement channels. So they're around. So a bit of a description on those. So they draw a horizontal parallel channel representing a range in which the low is a bullish retracement level, step 2, the high is a bearish. in step 2, the price is ranging somewhere between them, and yeah, blah blah, the stuff I was explaining essentially.
Okay.
So, and in particular, used with the momentum oscillator and EMAs to determine a likely price reversal when it's down near the bottom of one half or the top of the other half. So, and change the colors for those, all those bits, and there is this thing, like you can, if the channel only lasted for like about 5 bars or less, or whatever you set it to, then it just delete the channel from the page. So just just keep things neat and tidy.
Mm-hmm.
So if it turned out to be a bit of a non-starter, you can tidy that up if you want to. So, and then the one I was talking about, it extends the channel right by, at the moment, 25 bars. We set it to 0 if you want, or whatever. Stats, there's now a drop down for better or worse, I suppose. Slightly less usable because you can't just go to switch on and off. But you've now got retracement level retracement level stats as before, and super up down stats as well, which it varies such a lot on different different price pairs and time frames. The percent succeeded, but also just to emphasize again, it's a fairly arbitrary definition of what's a success or not for these. So it's more just having a baseline that you can then compare along different charts, really. So that might well get some tweaking as we go along. Oh yeah, stats. I'll have to add a description for that. And that's probably about it. I thought there's more than that. But still, I think it'd be it's just useful to kind of push out an update, just kind of get this new feature out there, really.
Okay, so do we get that for Christmas or?
Oh yeah, I think so. That'd be a nice Christmas present for Quadzilla owners.
Lovely. Excellent. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Right. Well, thank you very much for all that. That's it's all very awesome.
Yeah.
I just saw you sent me a message about doing a discount on the annual for something. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
Do you think those numbers? Do you agree with those numbers? Or?
Yeah, they're fine. Yeah. I'm just wondering what's best, really. Do we do
out of the two? Yeah.
Do we do a Christmas sale or do we do a New Year sale? Don't know. Not sure.
Yeah.
I
mean, given it's only a couple of, as you're saying, a couple of weeks now, isn't it? More or less till New Year. So maybe a brief New Year sale. What do we say now? Is it 10, 15%? I think, isn't it?
15, you said, yeah.
Yeah.
On the annual. But does that if we do that, that means we'll get no sales at all for the next 2 weeks, doesn't it?
Probably. Yeah. There is that side of it.
Which is probably okay, because that will give people they'll feel like, if they've missed Black Friday, that was the best offer ever. They'll be thinking like, okay, well, I did miss that, but I'll wait for the next good one, which is going to be. Let's go for New Year, shall we?
Yeah, sure. I think that sounds like a good idea. Because then, in the New Year, then it'd be a brief 15% off sale on the annual. We could probably pitch it like, New Year, new you, but don't waste your money on joining a gym. Just buy Quadzilla, place a few trades, and then you can buy the gym. Something like that.
Yeah, I remember going to the gym last year on January the 3rd, I think it was, and I've never seen it so packed. Literally, I think. Well, it was the day, whatever day the Monday was after Christmas. After New Year, and then I went back on the Tuesday, and there was no one there.
Sounds good. So, everyone's kind of paid their penance.
Yeah, that didn't last long,
No.
And you just imagine the staff thinking, like, they have got to process all them refunds and stuff now and cancel all them standing orders and, direct debits or whatever, and and it must be just something they do every single year,
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, you're right. Yeah, don't join the gym. Go for a walk and get Quadzilla instead. I will say though, for anyone who's currently paying for the monthly, we'll let them upgrade to the annual anytime they like for whatever we offer in January. That sounds fair enough, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so absolutely. So if you like whether you've got the monthly now, or if you fancy just getting started straight away, then do just get the monthly, and you'll still be able to get the 15% off the annual in January.
Yeah. So, and I mean, we'll work all the pro rata stuff out, so so you won't get stiffed.
No.
But,
yeah.
There you go.
Are we doing the crypto one as well?
Yeah, we need to talk about that, but yeah.
I think that do you agree with those numbers that are in there?
Yeah, they're fine. Yeah. Whatever they were.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, I'll probably better go myself actually, because my presence is requested elsewhere. I'm having a little check of the thingies. Got any more comments?
Oh, a few. Yeah. Apologies if we missed any, by the way. I was kind of we're scrolling up through and may have missed one or two. But do we have that one? We're going to rip. Oh yeah, ka-ching. Meetings, the illusion of being productive. Oh yeah. Hugely so. Strategy buys another 10,500 bitcoins for a bunch of money. The price tends to fall just after they've announced that, doesn't it? There's always been a thing. So glad they've been buying, but in a sense, do you feel like they're also just kind of building up a bigger fall when it happens?
I honestly don't know what's going to happen with all that. It just seems a bizarre business, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Yeah.
The more I watch Michael Saylor, I just think he's either a genius or an idiot, and
or a crook.
Or a crook. Yeah.
In somebody's opinion, somewhere probably.
Yeah. But I don't know.
Kaz saying yes, made it. Sorry, yes. New feature parallel channels. Have I missed that? Rewind, and so that'll be in 1.7, which will be out fairly soon, probably next week, I think. Like early next week, I would think. Is that space between retracements? It kind of is, but in a fancy way. So yeah, and gaga people, I agree. People be gaga. People generally, that is. We have a habit of just accidentally insulting our audience, don't we? Just it's not intentional, I promise you.
Biting the hand that feeds us or whatever.
Basically, yeah, exactly that. So yeah. We're done, aren't we?
I think so. Yeah, I need to pop out and pick the little one up. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everyone for coming along. Please do. Actually, let's end the poll. And the poll is basically one person thinks it will go to 100k first, the other person thinks it will go to 74.5k first. Right. Thank you for the 2 people who voted in that poll.
That
was a waste of time, but thanks anyway. So I've done it again.
Poll next. That'd be just as meaningful, wouldn't it?
All right. Take care, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow, and have a great day, and speak soon. All right. Click like on the way out. Bye.